Once upon a time in the land of Israel, there was a giant named Goliath. He was so tall that he scared everyone. One day, Goliath challenged the Israelites to fight him. They were scared and no one wanted to fight him, until a young boy named David came along. David wasn't scared of Goliath. He had faith in God, and God gave him the strength to defeat the giant. Are you ready to hear how David defeated Goliath? Here we go. Long ago in the valley of Elah, two mighty armies stood face to face. On one side, the people of God, Israel. On the other, the Philistines, fierce and unyielding. But it was not swords or shields that struck the greatest fear in Israel's hearts. It was a giant. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. Day after day, for 40 days, Goliath roared his challenge. "Send me a man to fight!" His voice echoed through the valley, and the Israelites trembled. On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Far from the battlefield, in the hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd boy named David tended his father's sheep. He was not a soldier. He carried no sword. Yet, he was chosen by God. One day, David was sent to bring food to his brothers at the battlefront, and that was when his destiny collided with a giant. When David arrived at the camp, he saw Goliath. Then David said to Saul, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. David fastened his sword over the tunic and tried walking around, but he was not used to them. So David took Saul's armor off and, shaking his head, went out to face the Philistine. When Goliath saw David approaching, he shouted and cursed by his gods. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" But David replied, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Then David ran quickly toward the giant, placed a stone in his sling, and with a single swing released it. The stone flew like lightning, striking Goliath in the forehead. The mighty giant stumbled, fell face down in the dust, and died. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. The Philistines fled in terror as Israel shouted in victory. But David knew this was not his triumph, it was the Lord's. For with God, no giant is too great, and no battle is impossible. The battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. Remember this: faith turns ordinary people into giant slayers. What giant in your life seems unbeatable? With God on your side, the victory is already written. Thanks for watching.